All right, let's talk about how to be perfect. This applies in anything, but we'll be doing how to be a perfect Fortnite player. So how to be the best player you can be. This all starts with accountability. 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 Without accountability, you can't do anything. You'll be stagnant. So let's understand this first thing. How to become perfect? Understand, no one is perfect. Sounds counterintuitive, but the idea is since no one's perfect, you're always striving to become perfect. You're always trying to be perfect. You want to be perfect. And you find the process of becoming perfect really fun and entertaining, uh, which I love. Let's see. So for Fortnite, specifically, I want you guys to understand that there's always something you could have done when playing. No matter how great you played, you could have always played better. You could still play better. You can always improve, and that's what's awesome about this, is it's ever changing. So every game's different. You have to pick up on the things that you did wrong and not make the same mistakes. Um, so this still applies too. Even if you have a bad team, uh, sorry, even if you have a bad team, you still could have done something better. I think almost especially if you have a bad team, right? Because you really see the issues. So you're like, oh, I had bad teammates this week. Well, I'm sure like this is gonna sound crazy, but what if you just won the game solo? Like, what if you're just that good? What if you told your team to do this certain rotate? There's always something you could have done to improve. So just focus on yourself, especially if you guys aren't that great and you guys are still trying to figure out your team situation. Just focus on yourself. So every week, you yourself are for sure getting some improvement from that. Even if you are getting a worse placement and playing with worse teammates, you need to be able to understand how to make the best out of that situation. Because not every week you're gonna have this crazy teammate, or maybe you do have a crazy teammate that week, and the next week he's like, "Damn, you're trash. I don't want to play with you." So when you run into that, you can always improve yourself. Um, so by always by always recognizing what you do wrong and holding yourself accountable, you will always improve. You won't stay at the same skill level. Even if sometimes you may think you're staying at the skill level, if you can recognize what you're doing wrong and then fix that, come to a solution or many solutions, maybe one of them is correct, that will make you improve. Because that's just the nature of it. If you're able to correct your wrongs, then you have less wrongs. So then you're more right. It's that simple. Um, so I know sometimes it hurts to be wrong, right? Like someone tells you you're wrong, your first reaction isn't you're super happy, but you should really work to change that. When you're wrong, it means you have something to improve on, right? And that's great. That's great news. Because if you have something to improve on, that means you're going to get better. That means you have a chance to get better. So even if it's coming from someone worse than you, maybe someone's like voting with you and you think they're worse than you, it's still, maybe it's not always right, but take it into consideration. Like actually, like, is he actually right? Could he be right? Sometimes they're not, but it's just good to think about everyone's perspectives because sometimes you're not going to see the mistakes you make consistently, like the little details, because it's your gameplay. You like it's normal to you. So sometimes you need someone else to look at it and let you know, hey, this is wrong. You're doing this wrong. Um, well, even when you're wrong, or sorry, even when you're right, I still want you to look at it the same as if you're wrong. Even if you're right, you can still improve. Just because you were right or did good in this tournament, get your best placement ever, doesn't mean that you played perfect. Um, you can VOD review. So maybe let's say you literally did win a game like a tournament. Well, VOD review, I guarantee you there's some mistakes you made, so you can find those. But then also recognize what you did really well. Recognize your strengths. You can play to those strengths. Maybe you're a height player. Maybe like low ground. You really love low ground, and you notice whenever I'm on low ground, like I just somehow win that game. I'm like top three every game when I play low ground. So you recognize, okay, let me just start playing low ground more. Maybe I'm not a height player, and that's okay. You don't need to play height every time, right? These tournaments they're not a sprint, they're a marathon. You can go drop sorry, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You can drop 60 kills and win your first game, and then not qualify, or you could be this guy who got top 3 with 3 kills every single game, and you qualified just like that. So be consistent and hold yourself accountable to your standards. If anything, hold yourself accountable to a higher standard. Know that you want to be better. And the only way to be better is to recognize what you're doing bad. Um, so this is something to always think about. It's hard to implement at first because it's harder to recognize your flaws, and it's a gross feeling. It it doesn't feel too good when you to recognize you were wrong, and that if you did this right, it would have all been good. Um, I want to do an example. So I one example. I have a guy, a friend of my friends. He's really good. Like I don't know, top 150 PR or something on Central, and I watch him, and sometimes he'll die to something not kind of stupid, but it'll be like someone with lower skill level doing something dumb, and he'll instantly blame the other kid, right? He's like, "Oh, this kid's so dumb. Why would he do that? Like, what is he doing?" But you got to recognize not everyone's gonna be smart, and you got to play to that. You got to play to those situations. So maybe so you could have figured out what you've done better. So maybe you don't put yourself in a position where dumb people would be, or you put yourself in a position where less dumb people would be, right? So maybe like going dead side, you're gonna run like dead side, front side. You're gonna run into a lot less dumb people if you're on dead side, front side, because most people are there because they know that's where they need to be. Sometimes there are unlucky times, and you got to play to those too. I'm sure there could have been something else. Maybe someone jumps in your box, and you whiff your first pump, then you hit your next pump, and then you get into 1 HP. Like you could have hit your first pump, or you could have got better at your tracking. So there's always something there, and you need to recognize that. And sometimes these things they take time to fix. You're not going to be able to fix this instantly. So maybe it's your aim. Okay, so maybe you aim train every day when you get on, or just every day, and eventually your aim's gonna get good, and you're not gonna be making those mistakes. But if you're like, okay, I see my aim's bad, now I aim train for 1 day, and the next day I'm like, okay, I'm good now. Like, no, your aim is not good. Uh, but if you were to do that consistently, then you would fix the problem, and you need to recognize that. You need to be conscious of it as well. So how to improve even your aim. So maybe I'm bad at flicking. Maybe I'm bad at tracking. So you focus more on those. And that's how you improve even quicker on the little details. Maybe editing. Maybe you're like, my edit timing's off. Like I always get caught on my edits. So now you work on your edit timing. It's whatever you think. And you got to recognize it. So one of my students actually, they're a duo, and it's trios right now, but that would probably be perfect for them. They just like go back and forth. You have an accountability partner almost that you can go back and forth and on your improvements. You're holding each other accountable on whatever you need to be and figuring out each other's weaknesses so that you can see to what each of you need to improve on. Uh, so for this, I guess I'll do a homework this video. It's gonna be recognize something you do wrong. Just one thing, and recognize how to fix it. So that'll go for anything in life. I'm sure you know something you've been doing wrong, and fix it. That's all. Just one thing. No matter how big or how large, or sorry, no matter how large or small, uh, just work to fix that. For Fortnite, I'm sure you have something in a VOD review session. So hope you guys enjoyed this quick little psychology video. Hopefully you can carry this past Fortnite and realize the principles behind what I'm saying, and you can use this for the rest of your life almost. Um, so have a growth mindset. Don't be stuck in the same mindset, believing you're always right and everyone else is stupid. Because oftentimes the smartest people don't think they're the smartest, and the dumbest people think they're the smartest, right? Because the dumbest people, they don't know, they can't recognize that other people are smarter. But these smart people, they can recognize, there's probably somewhere out there smarter than me. So they think they're dumber than they are, or dumber. They don't, you know what I mean? They're willing to grow a lot more. They think they're not at the top when they could be a lot farther at the top than the dumb person. So just recognize, have a growth mindset, and keep everything in mind. Hope you guys enjoy this boot camp. I'll see you guys later.